Precious, let me just start the recording. Yes, go ahead, Precious. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, so there was that one question that I had sent that I typed because I don't remember where I had seen it somewhere on the internet. So I typed it. I didn't remember the exact question. So I also just wanted to say it now. So like sorry for any like confusion, but like that was the question only.
Yeah, no problem at all. I looked at the question. Sorry, I didn't respond, but I couldn't find any easy pattern. In sense, you could say, just one second. Let me just bring up the question. Okay,
Because neither could I. So like.
Okay, let me just share screen here. Recording is on. Okay, so did you type it out or do you actually have a written? Maybe I'm not sure if you're missing something. Let me just paste it here.
No, sir, I remember that was the question only because I had spent like a lot of time thinking about it. But I couldn't find the answer, so I was wondering, sir, if you were able to find anything.
Yeah, see, I'm sharing screen. Are you guys able to see this? So this was the question, right? Find the pattern and k equal to. So you're given a column for j and k. Is this the question, right, Prashast?
Yes, this is the one.
Okay. Yeah, but when you say k equal to, means you mean k as a function of j, is it? For example, if j is 8, what is k? Is that what you're asking? Is that what the question is?
Correct. That's what I meant.
Okay, so I don't know, nothing strikes me offhand. For example, for some of these patterns, you can always make up something that you cannot argue against. For example, I'll just say, if I'm just making it up, if j is less than or equal to 1, then k is, okay, one second, let me just write it so that it'll be easy. So I will say, again, this is just me. Okay, so I will say the pattern is if j is less than or equal to 1, then k is j minus 1. Else, k is j plus 1. Okay. Now,
but so like, is there any mathematical way to write this?
That's what I'm saying. There's no mathematical explanation or something. So tomorrow you might come up with some other pattern, right, for the same. So the number of observations is very few for us to decisively say any particular pattern. For example, here I'm saying, right, you cannot say I'm wrong in the sense this is one less, this is one less, this is also one less, this is one more, this is one more. Okay, so from my perspective, I'm not wrong, but you might claim there's some other pattern, right? So I couldn't see any other evident pattern. What about others? Did you guys try this? Arjun, were you able to see anything, or do you see anything? Anyone for that matter? Sukrit, you're under your mom's Zoom today. Sometimes you're Raji, sometimes you're Pavitra, but never
Yes.
Sukrit. Yeah, Sukrit's mom was my classmate, and Sukrit's dad is my close friend at work. Yeah. Sukrit, any idea?
Sir, I agree with with your method, but like you said, that's
right. In sense that way you can make up anything, right? So I should admit that this is not convincing. So it's not like you can see a clear pattern where it's a perfect square, or 3 times the j minus 10, something like that. I'll think about it again if there's something else strikes. Or do you happen to have the answer, Prashast?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think I found it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What is the answer?
So just 1 minute. Can I just open the file?
Yeah. So while you open the file, meanwhile, let me just get started here with this question. Did we finish homework 2 completely? Nitya, did we do question homework 2 completely in class last class?
I think we had the last question left.
Yes. Sir, I found the answer and it is making 0 sense whatsoever.
Okay, what is the answer? State.
Sir, it's k is equal to whole j plus 1 into step whole j minus 1 plus j minus 1 whole into step into something.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we just copy paste that answer and send it across. Like I'm saying, right? Does not have to be a unique answer in this pattern type of problems.
No, sir, I put it in the chat box, sir. It's making like no sense. There's just step written everywhere.
Okay.
Excuse me, soon.
Yes, Nitya. Yeah.
There's something else. So we know that given the order and for the negative, if j is a negative number, then k is j minus 1 as shown so far, or if j is 0. But then there's another thing. For example, 0, 1, and below it k is minus 1, 0. And then where j is minus 2 and then 2, then k is minus 3 and 3. So since at the end it's 6, maybe j is minus 6 and k is minus 7.
Yeah, so basically you're saying if j is minus 6, k is minus 7.
Yes, sir. And since given the way it's minus 2 and 2, or 0 and 1, or
Yeah.
minus 3 and 3, so
Yeah, and if j is 13, what would your k be?
if j is,
If j is 13. So basically what he wants is if I populate a value for j in the top row, what should the corresponding bottom value for k be? That's what he means. When he says find k, he means for a given j, what is the corresponding k? So Nitya, by your logic, if j is 13, then what is k? There's nothing given for minus 13, for
14.
example, here. Oh, 14?
yes,
Yeah,
because
that's
j is a
based on, exactly, that's based on what I have come up. Now, tomorrow someone else might come up with something else also, right? That can connect all these numbers. I mean, I don't see a convincing pattern. Maybe Precious, send across what that step function that you, whatever you have. I'll
Yes,
have
sir.
a look.
So, sir, I have no idea what it is, sir. This is just the solution. There's also some explanation, but I didn't bother reading it yet.
That's fine. Yeah, let's move on. If I send it to me, if that makes sense and it's relevant for AMC8, I'll discuss later. Okay. All right. So we finished question 9. Was that what you said, Nitya? We are supposed to do question 10.
So we've done question 10.
We did question 10 also in class. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, I remember. I think just for last class, Nitya was in the Sunday batch. I think right. Okay. Yeah. So Nitya, do you mind watching the recording of that one? So this is fairly what is the answer that you got, Nitya, on this one?
for question 10.
For question 10, yeah.
I got b equals to 5.
Oh, sorry, I thought I was sharing question 10. I was maybe not. Okay. Vanya, is that what the answer that you got for your class when we discussed?
No, we did this last time.
Okay, D, is that what you said, Arjun?
No, so I'm saying that we did this question.
5.
Yeah, ES 5. So B was 5. So ES 5.
5.
He was okay, and that's what you got as well, right, Nitya?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so yeah, so it's fairly straightforward. So essentially, you'll have a bunch of equations, and you can add all of them, and then one of them will be odd man out. I think B would be the odd man out from which you can guess the number. Okay, all right. So let's start with homework 3. Homework 3. Where is homework 3? Here it is. Okay. First one, fraction. Vishwita, were you able to do question 1 on the homework 3?
Yeah,
Okay, what did you get?
I got n is bigger than 15.
N is bigger than 15. Vanya, do you agree?
So I got n is greater than equal to 16.
Okay. Both are same, right? N is greater than or equal to 16 is same as N is greater than 15. Both are acceptable because N is given to be a positive integer. So either of these two answers is fine, right? So for people who didn't get it, like we just do 1 minus this, and this comes out to be, I think, 1 by 15, right? So you need N to be such that the fraction is less than 1 by 15, which means the denominator must be less than this. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. All of us okay, right? Let me ask another variant of this question. Suppose the fourth fraction is not 1 by n, but it is m by 1000. Okay. Now, how many values for m are there? I'm not asking what the values are. So how many? I'm asking the count. How many values of m? Where m is a positive integer. M is positive integer. Okay, all of you will do this. Precious, you will answer this. Okay. Any answer? Okay. Meanwhile, if someone has finished, you can just chat me offline. Precious, okay, yeah, another 10 seconds. Okay, I'll open it up to anyone. Anyone? Arjun, any answer on this?
Sir, I got n is greater than.
You got what? Sorry?
Sir, n is less than 60.
M.
Or greater than 60.
M is greater than 60.
I got M is less than or equal to 66.
M is less than or equal to 66. Okay, so this is Arjun.
Yes, sir, I've got M is lesser than 66.333333, etc.
Okay, so
No, sir, not lesser than, equal. Lesser than.
less than. Okay, none of you have answered the question that I asked. The question I asked is how many values of M are possible? So you've given a range for value.
Infinite? Because technically we can take minus.
Okay. Okay, so your answer is infinite. Nitya's answer is infinite. Arjun, what is your answer? So this is
I didn't check it
Nitya.
and I'm getting f is less than 60.
Sir, 66. For me, it's 66.
Yes, it's 66.
66. Okay. Yeah. So
66.
so Nitya, the small mistake they made is its M is given to be a positive integer. Therefore, it cannot be negative infinity. But yes, otherwise, you're right. So M by 1000 is less than 1 by 15. And therefore, M is less than 1000 by 15, which, by the way, Precious is 66.6666. It's not 66.3333, right?
Oops.
Okay,
Yeah.
but that's fine. It didn't make a difference in this case because either way, the next integer down was only
Yeah.
66.
Yeah, so 66 is the correct answer.
Okay, yeah, 66 is the correct answer. Okay, now one other modification to the same question. How many possible values for M? One sec. Where I'll just say M upon 700. Okay, where the fourth fraction is M upon 700 and M has an odd number of factors. Okay, can we all do this? So the only modification is the fourth fraction is M upon 700 and M is a positive integer. Okay, or I'll just keep N just to be okay. N upon 700, where N is a positive integer. You can list out all the values for N. List out all the possible values for N. Anya, any idea?
Oh, 1 second, I'm just solving it.
Okay. Vishwita, if a particular number has an odd number of factors, what does that tell you about that number?
I'm not sure. I haven't really learned much about factors yet.
Okay. What about you, Nitya? What does that tell you about n?
That it has to be a square.
It has to be a perfect square. Yes. Right. So, Sukrit, why does n have to be a perfect square for it to have an odd number of factors?
Sir, because all perfect squares have 3 factors exactly, and it has only 2 squares, all perfect squares.
All perfect squares? Say that again, once more.
I mean, all perfect squares has only 3 factors.
What about 16, for example? 16 has 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. It has 5 factors, no?
Sir, but squares will always have odd number of factors.
Correct. I corrected what you said. You said all squares have 3 factors. All squares don't have 3 factors. All squares have odd number of factors. 16 has 5 factors. But why is it that all perfect squares have an odd number of factors?
Sir, I don't know.
Okay. Prashant, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, now if we look at it, so let's just take one aside because it's just the same thing if we do the multiplication.
Okay.
Now, so let's say it's 1 into 2 into 5 into 25. Take away the 1, you don't need it. So 2 into 5 into 25, which is 2 squared into 5 squared. Since those are two same numbers, therefore it becomes a perfect square.
I didn't understand. Say that again, please. The question is, why does a perfect square have odd number of factors?
Okay.
Go ahead with your explanation slowly, please.
Okay, so let's take 16 itself.
Yeah. Okay.
So 16 is equal to 4 into 4.
Yeah.
4 can be further divided into 2 into 2.
Yeah.
So then if we do 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, that's 16.
Yeah.
So that's an even number of factors, but then there's 1. So plus 1, if we do an even number plus 1, we will always get an odd number.
I'm not clear. This 2, this 2, this 2, this 2, there are 4 2s, which is why it's a perfect square.
Yeah, so when they get multiplied, there's a perfect square, but 1 is also a factor, so we do into 1. And so like 4.
For example, how do you extend the logic for 25? For example, 25 has 1, 5, and 25.
Okay. Yeah. So let's take away the 1.
Mm-hmm.
So now it has 2 factors, 5 and 25.
Yeah.
So now since there are these 2 factors, then there's 1. Wait,
what you're doing is you're observing that it has 3 factors, and you're agreeing, yes, it has 3 factors. I want you to prove why it has 3 factors.
Okay.
There's a small difference. Yes, you're observing that this has 5 factors. 5 is odd. You're observing this has 3 factors. 3 is odd, and so on. Yeah, Vanya.
So because in a perfect square, there is one digit which is multiplied by itself. So it has to be an odd number. Like
Exactly.
it is 4 into 4, 8 into 2, 16 into 1. So like it has to be an odd number.
Exactly. So if you take any other number which is not a perfect square, like 48, for example, when you write out factors, you write them as pairs. 1 and 48, 2 and 24, 3 and 16, 6 and 8. I left out 4 and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But all of the factors come in jodis, which is why the number of factors will be even. Whereas the moment you go to a perfect square, again, you'll start writing them in jodis, but then there'll be a point when the two numbers will meet. So 6 into 6. So you should not count them as 2, you should count them as only 1. Right? Precious, does this explanation make sense? Why a perfect square has odd number of factors? Okay. Nitya, any other way in which you can explain? Or is this what you had in mind as well?
Basically, yes. Differently paraphrased, but yeah.
Okay. Another way to look at it is, we discussed this last class. If I have any number n, if I write it as 2 power a times 3 power b times 5 power c, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, we know the number of factors of n, number of factors. Numfac means number of factors of n, is a plus 1 times b plus 1 times c plus 1 and so on. Vishwita, were you there for the last class? Do you remember doing this? The number of factors for a number n is the product of one more than each of those powers. Panya, did we do this last class?
Yes, sir.
We did, right? So maybe Vishwada, I'm not sure if you're around or you watched the recording. I'm not sure.
I watched the recording, but wait, I'm not sure.
Can someone else confirm? Arjun, Arjun, why is your video off? Why is the camera off? Okay, didn't we do this last class? The number of factors?
Oh, yes.
We did this, right? Okay, Vishwita, maybe just watch the recording again because I see that multiple people are concurring on this. Okay, so the number of factors of any number n is, you multiply, you take each of those powers of the prime factorization, you add one and multiply all of them. And I also discussed why that's the case, right? Now, Arjun, you agree? I discussed why that's the case as well, right? Okay. Now, if this number has to be odd, that means each of these numbers must be odd. Only then the product of several odd numbers will be odd. Even if there's one even number in between, that means the product becomes even. You agree? Which means a plus 1, b plus 1, c plus 1, all of them should be odd. Which means a, p, c, everything must be even. So when we have 2 power in even number a, 3 power in even number b, 5 power in even number c, that means it's a perfect square because it's 2 power a by 2 times 3 power b by 2 times 5 power c by 2 whole square, and therefore it's a perfect square. Does this logic make sense to you, Nitya? Alternative way of thinking about it. Sukrit, does it make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, precious question. Yeah.
No, so my hand was up from Pele. I'll just.
Oh, okay. All right. So having done this now, so what is the final answer to this question, Vanya? How many values could n take if it is n by 700? And what are the values for n?
So your voice is breaking. I can't hear you.
Oh, my voice is breaking? Okay. So I said, suppose the question is replaced as not 1 by n, but n by 700. And I say that n has an odd number of factors. What are the possible values for n?
I understand this.
Okay. You understand, and you understood the previous question where we got 66, where I said n by 1000. So it's exactly extending along the same lines, right? Sukrit, you want to try this?
Sir, I got 5 as the answer.
No, okay. And what are those values for n? Can you tell me?
4,
Mhm.
16, 4, 16, 25, 36, and 42.
But 42 is not a perfect square, right?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. 4, not 42.
4, 16, 25, 36. You left out 1 though. 1 is a perfect square too, right?
Oh.
Okay. But yes, you're right. So, Vanya, so go like the previous problem, we just say n by 700 is less than 1 by 15. And therefore, we say n is less than 700 upon 15, which comes out to be, let's see, is it 15 4s are 60, 100, 15,
Sir, 46.
46 and change, right? I don't care what the change is. And therefore, n is less than or equal to n is less than 46 and change. But now we have an added constraint that n has an odd number of factors, which means n is a perfect square. Does it make sense, Vanya?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and therefore it's the perfect squares which are less than or equal to 46. Yeah, or Nitya, go ahead.
Can we add 0 in the list since it doesn't say it has to be a positive factor?
Positive integer. N is a positive integer.
Question and like the different question, like.
Oh, in a different question, suppose, yeah, 0 is a perfect square. Yes. So if we, yes, you can have, right? So suppose it says n is a non-negative integer or n is just an integer, then you should include 0 also. Yeah. Okay. But then it becomes a little difficult. Suppose someone asks, how many factors does minus 4 have? Should we just list 1, 2, 4, Or should we list -1, -2, -4? All of those becomes a little questionable. But at least for 0, you can say 0 is a perfect square. But that's for sure. Okay, all right, let's move on to another question. Next question. So this is what I'll generally typically do. Once we do one question, I'll ask a few variants based on that question. I'll develop it. Okay, question 2. Laura went for a training ride on a bike, blah, blah, blah. Arjun, what did you get on this one? You don't have to raise your hand, Precious. So I'll make sure everyone gets, no one needs to raise their hand, don't worry. Yeah, Arjun, what did you get on this?
Sir, I haven't tried this question.
Why not?
Sir, let me just.
So this is just the second question, right? Does this mean you have not tried the other questions as well?
No, sir, I have.
You have. Only this question you left off.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. I'll give it to someone else. Sukrit, what did you get?
Sir, I got 4/9.
Sir,
4
I got
upon,
4/9 actually. Yeah, I've done it, sir.
okay, 4/9. Any other answers? Vishwita, did you do this? 4/9 as well?
Yes, sir, when I'm getting 4/9.
Okay, all right. So should we discuss or we are okay, right? We can skip this, right? If all of you got
Sir,
4
I can understand this question.
Oh, okay, I'll discuss. If someone did not get it, I'll definitely discuss. Okay, Laura went for a training ride. Okay, she covered the first 10% of the total distance in 20% of the total time. So let's see, this is the total distance. Total distance. Oh, in fact, I won't say total distance. I'll just say distance. And then I'll say time. Okay, I have 2 columns. Okay, so she covered the total distance D. Okay, let's say the total distance D, total distance was D and the total time taken was T. Okay, now she covered the first 10% of the distance, which is 0.1 D. So 0.1 D, she covered in 20% of the total time in 0.2 T. That's clear, Vanya?
Yes, sir.
And which means the remaining distance 0.9 D, she has covered it in 0.8 T, correct?
Yes.
Now
sir.
let's include another column called speed. Okay, so the total speed for her is D upon T, but in the first leg the speed was 0.1 D upon 0.2 T, which I can simplify to be D by or 1/2 of D by T. Here the speed was 0.9 D upon 0.8 T, which is 9/8 of D by T. Now, what is he asking? What is the ratio of our average speed over the first to the remaining? So essentially this divided by this. So which means D by T 1/2, right? So I'll multiply by the reciprocal of this 8/9 T by D. So D, T and all will get cancelled, leaving 4/9. This is clear? All of you okay with this?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Sort of different method where I did let distance and time be 100 and then I solved it. I found it easier.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, you could keep 100 as distance or 100 as time. Okay, that's all fine. The only one word of caution in that case is if you keep any number and if the question itself has some numerical value, right, which is not percentage but actual numerical value, then that should not conflict with it, right? Which is why I generally try to keep a variable. Okay, this is clear. Vishwita, your camera's off. Okay, another question. Some other person is traveling. Okay, not Laura, some other person. Let's see. Okay, I'll just say. One sec. Half the duration. Okay, all right. So I'll give it in terms of variables. It's okay. So half of the travel time. Okay, let's say I'm traveling. Okay, half of the travel time. The average speed was U. Okay. Second half. Okay, this is the first half. So first half of the travel time, the average speed was U. The second half of the travel time, the average speed was V. Okay. This question is clear. Let's say, for example, I traveled for 5 hours. In the first 2.5 hours, I traveled at U. Second 2.5 hours, I traveled at V. Okay, but I'm not saying 5 hours. I'm just saying half of the travel time. Now, the question you have to figure out the answer to is, what was the total average time? Fine. Sorry, what am I talking? What is the total average speed? Or rather, what was the average speed for the full travel? The question is clear to everyone? Is the question not clear to anyone? Arjun,
Sir,
question
I
is clear to
got
you?
the answer.
Okay, all right. Hold on for, let's give 30 seconds for everyone.
Sir, can I chat you the answer?
Yeah, you can chat that. You can always chat me answers, guys. No problem. I didn't get anything on chat yet. Are you going to, or you have already done? Okay. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm just acknowledging what you wrote. Yeah. After a minute, we'll reveal the answers and we'll discuss. Okay, Vishmita, you have anything?
I'm a little confused on how to like solve for the
Okay.
average.
Okay, Sukrit, do you have any typo? Can you, or maybe you intended to write something else and you wrote something else? Can you just check what you typed? I'm not sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Arjun, what do you have?
I'm trying.
Okay, 30 more seconds, guys. That's it. Nitya, have anything yet?
Sort of, because the way I had taken it with using 100, I would get 60 kilometers per hour. But if I were to convert it to percentage based on the way I derived it originally, would it be 60% of the speed per hour? No, wait, that sounds wrong.
I'm not even clear on what you're asking, to be honest. And nor are you about what you're asking.
No, the thing is, the way I had derived it using 100, that way I would get the answer as 60 kilometers per hour. But if I was to convert it back to percentage, since we don't know the exact speed, it would be 60% per hour. But 60% of what exactly?
Yeah, exactly. 60% of what exactly? That doesn't make sense. Yes.
So I'm working on the question.
Okay. All right, Prashant, you have anything for me? Camera off again. Why do you guys take turns to keep cameras off? Arjun, Vishmita, Prashant, keep the camera on throughout the class, guys. Okay, for the 16th time. Okay, Prashant, you have anything for me yet?
Sir.
Okay, all right. Sukrit has an answer, UV by 2. Okay, anyone else has any other answer? Arjun, you have anything?
I'm trying.
So will it be U plus V by 2?
U plus V by 2 is what Vanya thinks. Okay, any other answers?
Oh, sorry, sir. I meant to write U plus V by 2.
That's exactly what I asked you. Did you make a typo? Yes, it is U plus V by 2. And actually, it's not a difficult question at all, right? So, in fact, the
But
question
I'm
I was
getting U. So I'm getting UV by 2.
UV.
I got that.
You're getting
So just
UV
a
by 2.
second, let me check my.
Okay. Okay. I want to comment a bit. Okay, let's discuss. And then I want to comment a bit on the UV by 2 answer also. Okay. So how do you approach this, Nitya? Without being bogged down with 100 every time and getting confused, let's keep it same as what we discussed. So this is distance, this is time. Okay. Okay. Now let's say the total time, or rather, okay, the total time was t. Okay. And the total distance was d, let's say. Okay. Now and then we have speed also here, because we never know what is given. In this problem, speed happens to be given, right? So this is distance, time, and speed. So for half of the duration, which means for t by 2, the speed was u. For the remaining t by 2, the speed was v. Do you agree with this grid so far, Nitya? Does everyone agree with this grid so far?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what is distance? Distance is time into speed. So for this journey, the distance was u into t by 2. So for this journey, the distance covered was v into t by 2. Therefore, the total distance that was covered was nothing but sum of the two distances. So I can replace this d with ut by 2 plus vt by 2. So ut by 2 plus vt by 2. And what is the total time taken? T. Therefore, what is the speed? It's distance upon time, right? So the answer here is ut by 2 plus vt by 2 whole upon t. Now this is very easy, right? So I can take t common out. I can take u also common out. So u plus v upon t, which is indeed u plus v upon 2. Right? Well done, Vanya. And Arjun, Sukriti found your silly mistake. Okay, that's good. Which is why I prompted you. Maybe did you do some silly mistake? Now, the problem with uv by 2 is without knowing anything, I can say it's wrong. Why? Because there's something called units. For example, if someone asks you, what is your weight? If someone answers 58 kilogram, okay? Possible, may not be possible. If someone answers 1000 kilogram, it's still possible. Let's say I've not seen this person, right? Okay, I'm just being told about there is a guy, maybe not 1000 kilograms is an overkill. There's a guy in the world whose weight is 352 kilogram. Okay. Would I agree or disagree? I would say, yeah, maybe, maybe not. Okay, possible. But if someone says to me that there's a guy in the world whose weight is 20 kilometers, then I clearly know it's wrong, because the units for weight is kilograms or pounds or whatever, right? Kilometers is not even a measurement of weight. It's a measurement of length, right? There's the exact same mistake that's happening. That's very obvious, right? When I say it this way, there's exactly same thing what's happening, Arjun and Sukrit, when you said uv by 2, because it's a product of two speeds. How can product of two speeds be another speed? It's like meters per second into meters per second. So the units are meters per second. When you multiply by another meters per second, the units becomes meter square per second square. That doesn't make sense at all. Whereas if you add, people say you can add up apples. You cannot add an apples and oranges, right? Same thing, right? When you add meters per second and another meters per second, you can do that because it becomes another meters per second. But when you multiply, it doesn't, the units becomes meter square per second square, which is not even the unit for speed. So without knowing anything about the problem, if my question is find the speed and your answer is uv by 2, where u and v are speeds themselves, I know the answer is wrong. Is this clear to you, Arjun? Sukrit? This is called basic units checking or dimensional consistency. People say dimensional check or units check. Dimensions is nothing but all this length, mass, time, all of that. Okay. All of you clear on this one, right? U plus v by 2. Now comes the actual question I intended to ask. Okay. So the only one small change I'll do is, for first half of the distance, first half of the travel distance, the average speed is u. For the second half of the distance, the average speed is v. So the initial question was for first half of the travel time, the average speed was u. Now I've changed the question. First half of the travel distance. Okay, maybe you want to put travel distance, doesn't matter. I'm replacing travel time with travel distance. The rest of the question is same. For first half of the travel distance, the average speed is u. Second half of the travel distance, the average speed is v. Find the average speed for the full journey. Again, question is clear to everyone, I hope. Nitya, question is clear to you? Okay. Vishwita, question clear to you? Okay, good.
Sir, should I send you the answer by chat?
Yeah, please do. Okay. In fact, we can write out the answers as we have it. So Nitya, you have u plus v. Sorry, u plus v by t. You have. Is it u plus v whole upon t, or do you mean u plus v upon t?
Whole upon.
U plus v whole upon t. Yeah, that's what you mean, Nitya?
Yes.
Okay. Question to you. My initial question does not have a t at all. So how can you introduce a t which I don't know of? Right?
Can I say then let t be total?
But you should tell me in terms of what I give you, right? My problem has only u and v. If you want to introduce a t, you better derive t in terms of u and v something, right? Right? Either you say not possible because t is not given, or you say I don't need t, I can infer t. Only one of the, so based on what you are saying, insufficient information, time is not given. That's how I would say if you were to come up with this answer, which by the way is not correct. You don't need t, you should be able to get in terms of t. Okay, all right, next question, next answer is u plus v, that's Sukrit. And then Vanya says 2 by u plus v. Okay, okay, Vanya, again back to what I was giving you another example, right? 2 by, it's like saying what is the mass of this person? 68 kilogram. What is the mass of this person? I say 1 by 68 kilogram. How can the mass be of a unit which is 1 by kilogram? It has to be kilograms, right? Same mistake you're doing here. The units does not even make sense. So I don't need to even worry. I can clearly say you're wrong. Does it make sense, Vanya?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So again, point is not to find fault at Vanya. Point is for you guys to be able to figure out basic unit checking. Okay. Now u plus v is a speed plus speed. So that's possible. I'm not saying it's right, but at least it's not insane. U plus v by 2 is also for two reasons, right? One, of course, t was not given to me. That's a different story altogether. But u plus v by t also does not agree with the dimension because this is saying meters per second. So meters per second plus another meters per second is still meters per second. Upon time is in seconds. So it becomes meters per second square, which is not the units for speed, Nitya. Right? So two reasons I'm calling you out. One is t is not given to me. Even if t is given, the units do not make sense to me. Does it make sense, Nitya?
It does.
You don't seem very convincing in the way you said yes, it does.
I'm just
On the units part, you're not convinced?
I'm just checking it once and like
Yeah, you check it once. I'm not saying at all. I'm not saying okay, but how shall I say this? When you guys call out an answer, that's for everyone, right? Not just Nitya or Vanya, anyone, right? Or even the previous problem, Arjun. Make sure the units have to be consistent. Because that's a very basic essential check. It's again going back to this ridiculous answer of my weight is 20 kilometers. I can forget about the number 20. Seeing that the units is kilometers, I can say the answer is wrong. No matter what the question is, if someone says my mass is 20 kilometers, and the question might be a big paragraph long, I don't need to read the question. I can say the answer is wrong. That's exactly what I want you guys to develop. Right? So again, if you're not convinced, I'll explain again. But based on the units, I can reject this answer. Based on units, I can reject this answer. Based on units, I cannot reject this answer, but I'm not saying it's right. It's past the necessary condition, not sufficient. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
So earlier, if I remember correctly, it was written that u and v are both distances.
You and we are both speeds.
No,
For
because I
first,
have the travel distance.
for first half of the travel distance, the average speed is v. U and v were always speeds. The only one.
I misread the question. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. For the only change to the previous question I had was I changed travel time to travel distance, but the speeds were still u and v in both the questions.
Sir, wait, I made a mistake. It's u plus v by 2 only.
Okay, so Sukrit thinks it's back to the same answer, u plus v by 2 that we got earlier. Again, units wise, this is fine because it's meters per second plus another meters per second upon 2. 2 is just a dimensionless quantity. So it'll still be meters per second. So basic necessary condition of units passes, but whether the answer is right or wrong, only time will tell after I discuss. Precious, you need coffee? You're yawning and relaxing. Do you have anything for me yet? Arjun, what's happening?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any answer for me?
Sir, I'm doing it.
How long more do you guys need? Should I start discussing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I couldn't find anything.
All right, let's
Sir,
discuss
I
this.
got u plus v by 2 earlier on.
U plus v by 2 only.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So u plus v by 2 is wrong. Okay. Now let's read this question again. First half of the travel distance, the average speed is u. Okay. So which means I'll just again have the same grid, distance, time, and speed. So I will say, let's say the total distance is d, total time is t. Now for the first half of the distance, which is d by 2, right? For this journey, the speed was u.
U,
For the second half, which is d by 2, the speed was v.
v.
Okay, which means the time taken for this journey is d by 2 upon u, which is d by tu, 2u.
So, sir, I didn't understand. Wait, how did you get d by 2u?
Because for any journey, what is speed? It's the distance
Distance over
upon
time.
time. Correct. So this is for the first half, and this is for the second half. For my first half of journey, let's say I went from Mumbai to Pune, right? Exactly halfway distance wise came Lonavala. So that distance was d by 2. So for the distance d by 2, my speed was u, and therefore my time taken was distance upon speed, right? Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay, and similarly here, the time taken would be d by 2 upon v, which is d by 2v. Now the total distance is d by 2 plus d by 2, which is this. What is the total time? The total time is the time taken for each of these two parts, right? The total time taken was d by 2u plus d by 2v. Okay, so what is the total time? If I simplify this, so d by 2u plus d by 2v, if I simplify this is the total time taken. So I can take 2uv as the common denominator. So it's dv plus du. Or rather, I can take d common outside and say u. Yeah.
Oh, wait, so, sir, I understood.
Understood, right? So this is the total time taken. Now, all of you agree on this total time taken?
Yes.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Therefore, the total speed was what? The total distance upon the total time. So the total distance was d, and the total time was the expression that we just derived. So d into u plus v, and then upon 2v will go upar. Okay, sorry, Vishwita does not understand Hindi. Upar means up. Okay, Vishwita. Okay, so d gets cancelled. So the answer is 2uv by u plus v. Indeed, a weird looking expression, but it's 2uv upon u plus v. But let's do the dimensional check that I always harp on. Okay, 2 is just a number. U is the speed. So this is 2 times speed times another speed, right? And then upon a speed plus speed. What is speed plus speed? Is another speed. When you add apples to apples, I get apples only, right? So speed plus speed is another speed. So I might as well replace this with speed. Speed into speed is speed square. So I can cancel off one speed. So the answer is 2 into speed. 2 is just a number, does not have any units at all. So the answer, final units is speed, which is exactly what I want. So it passes the dimension check or unit check. Does this make sense to everyone? How, Arjun, does this make sense how to check dimensions?
Yes,
Units.
sir.
Okay, and the final answer is 2uv by u plus v.
Yes.
Okay, and Sukrit, another mistake in what you initially, you said the answer was u plus v initially, and then later you corrected to u plus v by 2, right? If for 2 parts of the journey, it's u and v, the final answer must be somewhere in between u and v only, right? It cannot be more than either of them, right? It has to be somewhere in between. U plus v by 2 falls in between them. U plus v is definitely more than both of them. So it cannot be u plus v for that reason. So for multiple reasons, you can eliminate all of your answers. Now,
Yes.
Now, one question you might all ask, how do I guarantee that this expression 2uv by u plus v is indeed between u and v. How do you know? Because, right, I just said the answer must be between u and v. So in fact, 2uv by u plus v, let's say u is the smaller one and v is the larger one. This will definitely be this way. V will be larger and u will be smaller than this. Okay. Now, why do I say this? Okay. So let's see this. Let's do this comparison. Let's do the left comparison first. Let's compare this versus this. Okay. Now, I'm saying I'm starting by the premise that u is less than v. Okay. So I'm comparing u on one hand versus 2uv by u plus v on the other hand, right? I'm just putting versus. Versus means I'm just comparing. Okay, I'll just draw a vertical line. Okay, so I can cancel off u. So the comparison is between 1 versus 2v by u plus v. Okay, I can multiply by u plus v and I can say the comparison is between u plus v and 2v. But what is 2v? 2v is v plus v. One of the v's is common. The other one, it's u here versus v here. Therefore, this is less. U is less than v, right? That's what I started off. Does it make sense how I proved that this is less than the first part of the inequality? Exactly same thing for the second part of the inequality. So if I have to compare this, it's my comparison 2uv by u plus v on one hand versus v on the other hand. I can cancel off v and say this is a comparison between 2u by u plus v and 1. I can multiply by u plus v and say this is a comparison between 2u and u plus v. And I can say this is u plus u, this is u plus v. And I know that u can get cancelled. Therefore, it's a comparison between u and v, and I know the signage is this way. Therefore, I've established that the result I've got is indeed sandwiched between u and v. Nithya, is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
All of you clear on this? Precious, you're with me completely?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, so that was this question, speed wala question. Question 3.
Sir, I got 5 for this, but I'm just trying to recall how I got 5.
Even
Okay.
I got 5. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 5. I remember how I did.
Okay.
I got
Okay, Prashast and Arjun, good. I'm saying good as in, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but please wait for who I'll call out to answer. Like, let's not answer out of turn. If I say anyone can answer, anyone can answer.
Sir,
I
I
was-
just told it was 5 after Precious.
Okay, yeah. So Prashast, I know you started it. Well, okay, I was going to give it to Vishwita. Vishwita, what did you get on this one, please? Did you also get 5 since these guys already called out?
yeah, 5.
5? Okay. And Prashast, what did you say? You forgot how you got 5, but you got 5. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir, I'm just trying to recall now.
Okay. Did anyone not get 5? Nithya, you got it?
I got 5.
Got 5 as well. Okay. So let's say initially there were one passenger got off and X passengers got on. So let's say initially there were A
Sir,
people
can I
in the bus.
explain?
Yeah, go ahead. Siddharth. Say Sukrit.
Sir, so I wrote let number of passengers before the first stop be y.
Why?
And
Okay.
then-
You're keeping it as Y. Okay.
Uh,
So I'm calling it initial, meaning before the first stop. Yeah.
So
ahead.
after the I wrote, let's say number of passengers get on is X, like that's already given.
Yes.
So after first stop, number of people on the bus is equal to y minus 1 plus X.
Or rather, Y plus X minus. Y is sitting on the bus. X people get on, 1 person gets off. Yes, it is same as Y minus 1 plus X. But
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Y plus X minus 1. Okay.
And then I wrote after 5 stops, number of people is equal to y minus 5 plus 5X.
Yeah. So the same X minus 1 pattern repeats 5 times. So it becomes Y plus 5 times X minus 1. Yeah.
And then after 5 stops, total number of people is equal to yx.
YX, correct. Because it's X times the number of people before the first stop. Yeah.
And then I wrote yx is equal to y minus 5 plus x because like it's the same statement. And then xy minus y is equal to minus 5 plus 5x.
And then the X minus 1 get cancelled.
Yeah, so y is equal.
Exactly. Probably this is how all of you did it. Vishwita, you did pretty much the same as well. All of you okay on this? Okay, fairly straightforward, right? Okay, let me ask not a question, but sort of like a puzzle type. Okay. Okay, I want someone to volunteer and nod along to say yes, yes. So Prashast, I volunteer you. Okay, volunteering should be self, but I am volunteering you. Okay, all right.
Second equation, where did like in the second step, where did the plus y plus go?
I moved the y to this side, so it became yx minus y. So it became yx minus y. Okay.
Sir, I did it in the same method.
Okay, fine, Arjun. Vanya, is this clear? Yx minus y. And then y can come out, right? All right. Okay. Prashast, are you ready to nod along to say yes, 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 yes or no? You have both options. Either you can agree or disagree.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So let x equal to y. Okay, let me just not say x and y because it's nothing to do with this question. In fact, let me hide this question. Some other new question, right?
Wait, so sir, I just say yes or no to everything you say.
Correct. Okay, let a equal to b.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Therefore, a square equal to
Where
ab.
is? Wait, what?
Therefore, a square equal to ab. I'm multiplying both sides by a. Okay
Yeah.
or not okay? Agreed. Okay. Yeah, you can say agree or disagree. Fine. Therefore, a square minus b square is ab minus b square. Agreed or disagree?
Wait, now let me think. Yeah,
Agreed, right?
correct.
I'm subtracting b square on both sides. Therefore, what is a square minus b square? It's a plus b times a minus b.
Correct.
And I can take b common outside, b times a minus b.
Wait. Yeah.
Agreed? I can cancel off a minus b on both sides. Therefore, a plus b equal to b.
What?
A minus b is common on both sides.
Wait, what? Wait,
This is a
what?
minus b. This is a minus b.
But how can a plus b? Okay, then a must be 0 then.
Okay, but I didn't say a is b, right? Or other, this is I'm going to complete 2b equal to b. Okay, in fact, I will say a equal to b and b is not equal to 0.
Oh,
Okay,
wait, then what? What?
therefore 2 equal to 1.
Wait, so then how did you take b common?
You agreed with everything I said. Okay, so where is the mistake?
Okay, now let me just think.
Okay, okay. Now you can mute. It's open to everyone. I just needed you to agree with me so far. Okay, now you can mute, and anyone can open up with where you think the mistake is.
So how did you get 2b is equal to b?
Because a plus b equal to, because a equal to b, right? So instead of a, I'll replace with b.
Sir, how is A?
Sorry.
How is A equal to B?
No, I'm saying let a equal to b. I'm starting off
Oh,
with the
yeah,
assumption
right.
let a equal to b.
Sir, then A plus B should be 2B.
Yeah, a plus b, a plus b will 2b. But based on what I wrote, I'm getting a plus b equal to b, right? Based on this method, I'm getting 2 equal to 1.
Okay.
Vishwita is thinking I'm weird. She's going to stop coming to my classes now. Vishwita, any idea where the mistake is?
I'm not sure, but like the part I'm unsure about is like when you did with the brackets a plus b times a minus b.
Why? What is wrong in that?
But I'm just checking that.
Okay. Anyone else? Arjun, any mistake?
I'm finding it.
He's confident. He says, I'm finding. Which means he knows there is a mistake. It's just a matter of time for him to find it. Nitya, what's up?
I'm starting.
Sir, it's possible that B is not a real number.
B is not a real number. No, I'm saying B is a real number. Okay, I'll just say B is not equal to 0 and B is real. Okay, for people who know are wondering what real numbers are, for example, he's saying there are something called imaginary numbers. For example, square root of -1. It's an imaginary number.
I.
Exactly. It's called I. So he's saying potential. But I'm saying I'm not even venturing into all that. I'm saying B is real. Yeah, Nithya, go ahead.
I don't know if this counts because I don't think it does. But would it be worth anything to know that A minus B is technically 0? So the answer shouldn't be. I'm kind of getting lost there, but yeah. So
Yes, you are on the right track, but not convincing yet. But yes, you are in the right direction.
So if A minus B is technically 0, and we decide not to cancel it out before we multiply, then it should be 0 equals to 0. So, but theoretically, we can cancel it out. So, yeah.
Okay, yes, you're right. I'll just extend on what you're saying. Okay, so basically what she's saying is forget this problem. Suppose I say P into 2 equal to I don't know, maybe 6. Okay, then I can say P into 2 is 3 into 2. Okay, this is all into one, not decimal. And therefore, I can cancel off 2 and say, therefore, P equal to 3. I can do this. Okay, so this is fine. But suppose I have Q into 0 is 0. Okay.
So I got the mistake.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, same thing, right? So Q into 0 is all right. I'll just say Q into 0 is 3 into 0. Okay, and if you cancel off this and say Q equal to 3, that is wrong, because if I'm saying Q into 0 is 3 into 0, what does cancelling off mean really? Math does not have any cancellation. Cancellation is essentially a short form to say you divide both sides by that number, in this case 2. In this case, you're dividing both sides by 0, right? Dividing by 0 is not possible. That's exactly what Nithya was alluding to. Sukrit, that's what you were also going to pretty much say.
So, yeah, so you can't cancel out the zeros. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, so this step of cancellation is not actually done because A minus B is 0. And cancellation means you're dividing both sides by A minus B, which is not possible, right? Because A minus B is 0.
I knew that it was that step that I had the error, but I couldn't find the error.
Okay, that's fine. Does it make sense to everyone, guys? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so always be careful in cancellations. Okay, cool. So that was this question. Next question. Octagon and
So non-gun and hexagon, and so this one is really confusing.
Okay, all right. All right. Previous question was all okay, right? The cancellation, everything was okay. Okay. This one, let's see. Who got an answer on this? Vanya, did you get something on this one? Non-gun. Actually, this is not technically an AMC question because it says show that and all that. AMCs, you don't have proofs. You just have multiple choice answers. But I want you guys to be trained in thinking, right? How to approach. The approach is still worthwhile discussing. Vanya, I couldn't hear what you said.
Yeah, I wasn't able to do this.
You were not able to do this. Okay. Nithya, what about you?
Meaning though.
Okay. Anyone? Arjun?
No, sir, I tried this, but I couldn't do it.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Sukrit, Vishwita?
Sir,
Vishwita?
I could prove it.
Okay. Sukrit could do it. Okay, fine. Vishwita, your hand was up. You could do it as well.
So, sir, I couldn't do it, but sir, like,
Oh,
till
hold on.
how
Precious, one sec. Precious, I'm talking to Vishwita. Vishwita, your hand, you said you were
This
going.
Counts, but I think I might have done it. I don't know if it like counts because the question was confusing.
Okay. All right. I'll come back to you. Precious, what were you asking? Bishwe?
Yes, so sir, I wasn't able to do it completely, but can I tell till how far I was able to go?
Yes, Precious, but I want to give it to Vishwita, this one. So yeah,
Okay.
Vishwita, can you get started? And maybe if Precious has gone further from there, then he can take over from there. But go describe what you got so far, Vishwita.
Well, first, I like found the angles for
Okay.
the nonagon and then the hexagon.
Yeah. Okay. What
So,
is
like,
you mean the internal angles of nonagon and
yeah,
okay. What is each internal angle in a nonagon?
in the nonagon it's 140.
Yeah. So it's 180 into n minus 2, right? Is the total sum of all the interior angles. So each interior angle is 180 into n minus 2. So in this case, it's 180 into 7 by 9, which is 140. So each internal angle in a nonagon is 140. And likewise in a hexagon, how much would it be?
120.
Yeah. So 180 into 6 minus 2,
120.
which is 120 degree. Okay. All right. Next. Vishwita, continue.
Then it was like confusing because it's set to like prove that they're on the same line, right? But next I just I'm not really sure how to explain.
Okay. That's fine. Okay, Prashant, you want to continue from here?
Sir, I didn't actually go down this path
Okay.
because, like, what I noticed here is that since, like, the side lengths are the same, like, not side lengths exactly, I would say, but like the sides that it's like side lengths are the same.
Yeah.
In both the shapes, and it shares like two common vertices. Therefore, like, so then the hexagon can't increase, neither can it decrease in size.
Mhm.
Okay, that's like I didn't like go about equations, I just like thought about it visually. So if it increases in size, therefore IA must also increase, but that can't happen in this scenario.
Mhm.
So it increases, then both of them increase. So I have concluded, yes, that's as far as I've gone.
Okay. All right. So Sukrit, you had something to share?
Sir, so first I found the sum of all interior angles in both. So the each one is 140 and 120.
Till here we have covered. Yes,
And
continue.
then I did angle MIA, yeah, that's 120, and HIA is 140, which is like and then I did HIM would be 120 because 140 minus 120.
Okay. So HIM, the small angle is
Yeah.
20 degree. Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes,
all
sir.
of us agree on this one. What he's saying is the HIA, the big angle is 140, the angle in the nonagon. MIA at the point I is comparing the two angles. 140 minus 120 is the balance is 20. Okay, continue, Sukrit.
And then angle GHD be 5 minus 2 into 180 in brackets minus
Sorry. Slow. Angle which one? GHD.
D.
Okay, GHD. Okay.
So so the total would be 5 minus 2 into 180
5 minus.
because if you draw a line from H to D, it becomes a pentagon.
Yeah.
So 5 minus 2 into 180
Mhm.
minus 3 into 140 by 2.
Okay. All right. So what he's saying is he's connecting H and D. He's not saying it's passing through M. He's forgotten M completely. Okay. Just ignore the hexagon is even there. He's only focused on the nonagon, which is outside. And then he's focused on this angle GHD. Okay. Now he's calculating the GHD by saying, which one? The bottom portion is the pentagon or the top portion? The bottom portion is the pentagon. Right? Top portion is a pentagon. So this top portion is a pentagon, right? HGFED is a pentagon. Okay. Now for a pentagon, the total number of so Sukrit, I'm just taking over from what you described to me. So he's basically saying find angle GHD. And this is how he's progressing to find angle GHD. So he's saying this angle GHD is part of the pentagon. Okay, so the pentagon is HGFED. That's a pentagon. So for this pentagon, the total angle is 180 into n minus 2, which is 180 into 5 minus 2,
Yes.
which is 540. But in this 540, there are these three angles, he says, are 140, 140,
So
140.
420 is gone.
So 420 is gone. And the remaining two, by symmetry, he's observing that this angle is same as this angle. These two red angles are same, he's observing by symmetry. So it's 540 minus 420 divided by 2, which is 120 by 2, which is 60. So he's inferring that angle GHD is 60. Sukrit, am I right in saying this is what
Yes,
you
sir.
said? Okay, let's pause here. Is this clear to everyone so far? Vishwita, are you clear so far? How we arrived at 60?
Kind of. I'm a little confused.
Okay. Sukrit, you won't describe this. Arjun, can you describe what I just said? Slowly to Vishwita. Slowly. She should. And pause as required so that she is able to understand. And check with her periodically. Does it make sense? Yeah, go ahead.
So basically, the interior angle of a nonagon is 140 degrees. And what Sukrit did is he joined point H and D with a straight line. And he just forgot that the hexagon was there. So when you join H and D, you notice that HGFED is a pentagon. So the sum of the interior angles in a pentagon is 540 degrees.
Do you agree so
we
far?
already-
Sorry, Arjun, 1 second. Do you agree so far, Vishwita? That HGFED is a pentagon, although it's not like the usual pentagon that we see. Whenever we say pentagon, we imagine a pentagon like this, right? But not anything which has 5 sides is a pentagon. Even this is a pentagon. For example, this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a pentagon, right? Even though it does not look like the typical pentagon we visualize, it's a pentagon. It has 5 sides, right? Similarly, that the picture I've drawn, HGFED is a pentagon. Yes, continue, Arjun.
So we already found that the side of the nonagon is 140 degrees. Each angle is 140. So angle G, angle F, and angle E are all 140. So over there we get 140 into 3, which is 420 degrees. So that is gone. So and then we have angle H and angle D. So the sum of angle H and angle D is 120 degrees. And as the line HD is a bisector of angle H and angle D. It divides the 120 into 266.
Line HD is not a bisector of, in fact, it is not. It's not bisecting that angle. In fact, you can see one is 60, the other is 80, Arjun, because the total is 140.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, but angle H and angle D are symmetric in that pentagon.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I know that's what you meant. But Vishita, is this convincing now? Angle H and if not, we can repeat again. Angle H and angle D are symmetric. You can see that the pentagon is symmetric. And then he found the sum of 3 angles is 140 into 3, which is 420. Of the total 540, if you subtract 420, then the balance is equally split as 60 and each, 60. So therefore angle GHD is 60. Agreed, Vishwita? Sure, right? Pakka. Okay, cool. Continue, Sukrit.
Sir, so and then I said that angle MHI would be 140 minus 60, which is 80 degrees.
MHI is, okay. MHI, okay, all right.
And then HMI is equal to 180 minus 80 plus 20 because it's a triangle. So it would be 180 minus 80 minus 20, which is 80 degrees. And then, so I made MIABCD a hexagon.
ABCD a hexagon. Actually, you're already there. I don't know why you're overcomplicating it. Can I finish it off from here, Sukrit?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
and you'll see that you already have the answer. Okay, so far, just to recap, what does he have? He has taken the hexagon out of the picture. He's only focusing on the nonagon, and in the nonagon, GHD is 60 degree. Correct? All of us So far, so good, right? And therefore, in the nonagon, so I'm still continuing on the nonagon. I'm not even seeing the hexagon. Just forget the hexagon is even there, right? So we know GHI, the angle GHI is 140 degree. Each angle is 140, we know. So this is 140. And therefore, if I subtract GHD was 80. And therefore, the balance is DHI is, sorry, the GHD was 60. I'm sorry, GHD was 60. We just got this 60. And therefore, GHD was 60. Therefore, DHI is the balance, which is 80 degree. Okay. Precious, do you agree with me so far? DHI is 60.
So what? DHI?
DHI is 60. So this angle, DHI.
So I can't see what your point.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, one sec. How do I? So do you agree that GHI, this entire angle is 140? That you agree?
Wait, so just 1 minute.
At the vertex H, GHI is 140. Okay, I'll erase all of this. Oh, sorry, I'll erase all of this.
Yeah.
Okay, and then just imagine, I'm not able to erase the hexagon separately, but just imagine that the hexagon is not even there. For now, just imagine the hexagon is not even there.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just connecting H and D. Now it happens to be passing through M, but that's what we have to prove. We have not proved it.
Yes.
For now, even M does not even exist because the hexagon is not even there in your eyes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Do you agree that the angle at H, which is GHI, is 140? That you agree? This pura angle, each angle in a nonagon is 140, and so is GHI. Agree?
Correct. I agree.
Okay. And now Sukrit just proved that GHD is 60 degree. We were there for that proof as well.
Yeah.
So he proved that this angle, this part was 60.
Yeah. So, but can you just like verify once more, like so in a slightly, just confirm it once?
Why that 60?
Yeah.
Yes. So he's considering the Upperwala pentagon, the top pentagon, HGFED.
ED, correct.
In that pentagon, the sum of all the angles is 540 degrees. In any pentagon, the sum of the angles is 540.
Wait.
180 times n minus 3, n minus 2.
Yes.
Agreed, Precious? Okay. Of which, if you subtract off the three 140s, this, and this,
Correct.
at G and F and E, if you subtract those one form.
Yeah, and what do we say? GHD and EDH are the same.
Exactly. Therefore, each is 60 degrees.
60. Yes.
Okay. So all of us are so far here that this angle GHD is 60, and therefore this small little balance angle here, not small, I mean this angle is therefore maybe
Which
I'll use
angle?
another.
Like
I'll use another color.
DHI.
DHI is the balance which is 80 degree.
Yes. Correct.
Okay, Vishwita, you are with me completely. Okay, DHI. Okay, now all of us, Nitya, you're also there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So
No. Okay. So far, yes. Now, all I'm going to complete it by saying is now forget the nonagon. Just focus on the hexagon for now. Just focus on the hexagon, and my goal is find. Okay, I'll just say find angle MHI. Okay. Note that that's DHI only, but for now D does not even exist. I'm independently calculating what is MHI, and I'm going to say MHI is also 80 degree, and therefore I'm going to conclude by saying DHI and MHI are both same, which means H, M, and D are in a straight line. That's how the conclusion will happen. But I'm just giving you a
yes, sir. But instead of all of this, sir, like basically in your mind, you could just think that, okay, yeah, this is a nonagon. Inside this, there's a hexagon. They share one common side. Therefore, their side lengths are the same. And for M to be not on HD, let's think about it this way. For M to not be on HD, this size of the thing would have to differ, but that cannot happen because, yeah.
Okay.
Like you can just think about it in your mind because like there's no possible way. It just doesn't like work.
Oh, okay, I sort of understood what you're trying to get at. But anyway, so okay, so Nitya, you had a question or what is it?
Yeah, could you please repeat the lines from where
Okay.
you said find angle MHI independent of D? I got lost from that.
No, I have not found, but I'm just giving you where I'm headed to. I'm going to say I'm going to find MHI, okay, and I'm okay, and then I'm going to infer. I am going to, okay, I'm not at done. I'm going to say it is also 80, okay. If I say that, then it means MHI is 80, DHI is also 80. Therefore, D, H, and M lie on a straight line. That's how I'll conclude. You're with me? But I've not proved MHI is 80 yet. You're with me, Nitya? All of you with me? Okay, that's where I'm headed to. Vishwada, your hand is up. Yeah.
I think I did like the same type of thing, but it's a bit more simple.
Okay. Vishwada, we just hold on for just 1 second, right? Because I'm elaborating, it seems complicated. It's not complicated. Okay, now let me erase all of this again. I'm just focusing on M, H, and I. Now, back to what Prashant was also saying, this side is a common side, which means all of these sides are same. If I focus on the triangle MHI, right, the HI and the MI are both same length, which means if I complete this triangle HMI, it's an isosceles triangle. HMI is an isosceles triangle. And in this isosceles triangle, we already saw at the very beginning that the small little angle here was 20 degrees. You remember, that's how Sukrit started by saying it's 140 minus 120. Therefore, this is 20. Right? If this vertex angle is 20, then each of these two angles should be half of the remaining balance, which is 160 divided by 2, which is 80. Therefore, MHI is 80. Nitya, are you clear how MHI is 80? And therefore, it's the same 80 that we arrived at for DHI. MHI and DHI are both 80, and therefore it lies on a straight line. Again, it took me a while to describe, but otherwise it's a very simple thing. Find DHI, find MHI independently, and arrive that both angles are the same numerical answer, and therefore conclude its DHM is a straight line. Okay? Is this clear to everyone? Then we'll hear Vishwita out. Okay, Vishwita, go ahead, please. What did you say? Sure, let me erase all of this. Yeah, go ahead, Vishwita.
Okay, I think so basically I got 20 also, and then I realized isosceles.
Yeah.
So then I also got that DHI is 80 and HMI is also 80.
Correct.
And then I did HML plus DML equals 180.
HML plus DML equal to 180. Okay.
Yeah, like the angles.
Okay.
So then if HMI, angle HMI is 80,
Mhm.
and then the line goes through that, right?
Okay. All right. So basically at the point M, you're using that there's some angles adding up to 180. That's fine. Essentially equivalent to what I just described. Yeah, multiple ways. Yeah. At M, essentially you're connecting and saying these two angles add up to 180, which means HMD is a straight line, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine as well. Okay. Cool. Good job, guys. So that was question 4. Question 5. Arjun, did you do question 5? The 11-digit number, blah, 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 is divisible by 8 of these numbers. Arjun, you're saying something? I cannot hear you.
So I have to leave.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Your mom did mention that you have to leave. Yeah, no worries. Sorry, I'll just move it up here. Okay, Arjun, we're able to do this question. Arjun, can you hear me?
So sorry, I've spoken.
Yeah.
Sir, I earlier got A as 3 and B 6.
A is 3 and B is 6. Okay. Do you agree? Let's see. Nitya, do you agree? A is 3, B is 6.
No, I got B as 0, A is 9.
B is 0, A is 9. Okay, any other answers?
Sir, I also got A is 3 and B is 6.
Okay, so 2 people got this. So Arjun got this and Sukrit got this. Okay, and then Nitya got this. Any other answers? Okay, Nitya, do you want to explain how you got your, I'm not saying this is right, that's wrong, whatever. Explain your answer, Nitya.
Okay, so 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, 1, 2, A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, B.
Yeah.
Well, as long as we take the middle 1 to 9, we know that it's divisible by 9. So I'm just focusing on a few numbers right now. We know that it's divisible by 9. However, exactly 8 of the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So to ensure that the number is divisible by both 5 and 2, B would be 0. And by that logic, since to make sure that the number is divisible by 3, 6, and 9, A would have to be 9 because the sum of the digits should be 9.
Okay, but you're starting with the premise that the number is divisible by 9. That's what you're starting off. Okay, if I have to repeat what you said, just tell me if I'm wrong based on what you said. 1 plus 2, so on till 9 is 45, which is divisible by 9. Okay, and then you're saying B, so it's divisible by 8 of these numbers, right? Which means only one number is not divisible by between 1 and 9, right? So for it to be divisible both by 2 and 5, the last digit must be 0, right? Last digit must be 0. And after that, I lost you. So why must A be 9? That part I didn't understand.
We still need to assign a value to A. And if we want to make sure that the number is still continues to be divisible by 9, it will have to be 9.
Agreed. So you want to make sure it's divisible by 9, right? Right? You want to make, you're essentially saying the entire number is divisible by 9 without any reason as such. You're saying, let's assume it's divisible by 9. Karke. Is that right? Why does it have to be divisible by 9 is my question, in other words.
So we want to make sure it affects as few digits.
Correct.
Digits as possible. So having a number at A can only affect 2 numbers, 7 and 9, since the rest are based off on like the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, those digits. And so I chose 9.
Okay. You're not wrong. Okay, can you? Okay, all right. Let's hear out Sukrit. Sukrit, what was your logic? Hold on to that thought, Nitya. Okay. Sukrit, what is your logic?
So I just listed down all the numbers from 2 to 9. I left out 1 because it'll always be divisible by 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I said if it's divisible by 2, then B is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8 or 0.
Mm-hmm.
And then I left 3 out for now because I don't know A. I need to know that to B, like if 3. And then if it's divisible by 4, then B is equal to only 6 and 2 because it's the last 2 digits. And then if it's divisible by 5, it's 0 or 5, but then I cut out 5 because if it's divisible by 2, because even if it's not divisible by 2, there's still 4 and 8, so it has to be an even number, so I cut out 5 and it's only 0. And then I did if it's divisible by 8, then the last number, the B has to be 6 because the last 3 digits. And then after that, I made it such that, so sir, I don't remember how I did it. I'll
Okay.
just like think
Okay.
about it.
All right. So both of you are in the same. Okay. All right.
Could I explain?
Yeah. Go ahead, Arjun. Yeah.
Sir, so basically what I did is, so I started off in the same way. I listed down all the numbers, and obviously we can ignore 1 because any number is divisible.
Yeah.
So next, so first even I thought we could make it divisible by 5. So if you make it divisible by 5, we definitely cannot put 5 in the unit digit because we need so basically we need it has to be divisible by 8 of the number, so we can leave out 1. like one number, so not the digit one. So we have the power to just leave out one of them. So if we put 5 over there, we have to leave out 2, 4, 6, and 8. So we cannot use 5. And if we use 0, we cannot put 4 we cannot use 4 over there. So we cannot use 4 or 8 over there because the last two digits 94 is not divisible by 4 and 8 is also not divisible by 4. So you cannot we are sure that we have to leave out 5, so the other numbers have to be divisible. So the other combination could be 9, 2 or 9, 6. So I considered 9, 6, and when I did that, when you take the sum of digits from 1 to 9, you get 45. And then the 6, which is B at the end, 51. And then the 3 in the front adds up to 54, which is divisible by 9 and 3. And it's already divisible by 7.
Okay. You till the very last statement, everything that you said tallied with what Nitya said and Sukrit also said, right? So essentially, all of you guys want this to be divisible by 8 and 9. So this is not divisible by, okay, all right. So the 7 is, okay, all right. Let me just, I'm sorry, I'm short of time. I have to go for the next one. But I'll just say this much. I'm just repeating what you guys said a little bit. So if a number is divisible by 8, automatically it's divisible by 4, automatically it's divisible by 2. So clearly it cannot be a case that it's divisible by 8, but not by 2. So I can cancel off 2. Similarly, if a number is divisible by 9, automatically it's divisible by 3. So I can cancel off 3, can cancel off 4 for the same reason that if it's divisible by 8, automatically it's divisible by 4, right? So it cannot be that it's divisible by 8 and not be divisible by 4. That's not possible, right? Similarly, if it's divisible both by 2 and 3, it has to be divisible by 6. So 6 is also ruled out. So 6 is also ruled out. Okay. So the actual independence that we have is only on 4 numbers, namely 5, 7, 8, and 9. I'll repeat what I said next class, but just very quickly before I wrap. So actual independence is only 5, 7, 8, and 9. That it's not divisible by, right? And divisible by rest of the numbers. Okay. Now, of course, now from here on, you'll start with some assumption. Let's assume it is divisible by 5. So which means this last number has to be 5 or 0. But we are already saying it's divisible by 2. Therefore, the last number better be 0. Right? Now, sorry, Arjun, you're saying you verified this number starting with 3 and ending with 6 is divisible by 7. You verified that?
Yes, sir, I think so.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's pick up on this next class. Okay. I don't want to do a rush job. It'll take another 5 minutes for me to describe. Okay. So let's pick it up next class. Okay. Chalo. See you. Sukrit, sorry, I'm out of time. We'll clarify next week.
Thank you.